morning, all you strange and wonderful weirdos. I'm John.
And I'm Stacey.
It's Monday, October 10th. And here's why today is strange.
All right, so let's start off today with some scientists from the Russian Academy of Sciences.
They're busy.
They revived They revived a 30,000-year-old Pleistocene-era plant.
Oh.
Yes, very interesting story. So Svetlana Yashina and David Gilichinsky have revived a plant from a seed that was discovered inside the stomach of a squirrel that was frozen in the Siberian permafrost.
Oh my God, it's Ice Age.
Yes, and the seeds were roughly almost 32,000 years old, and the squirrel was What am I trying to say? He was sleeping. He was
hibernating?
Thank you. The squirrel was hibernating, and they found roughly 70 squirrel hibernation burrows along the bank of the lower Kolyma River in northeast Siberia. And when they found this, they found thousands of different seed samples. So these two scientists took some of these seeds. They had no idea what they were for, didn't know what was going to grow, and supposedly regrew them into a living plant.
No.
Yes. Was this a good idea?
Wait, did they mix all the seeds and make one plant?
No, they took some of the seeds
that
they thought were viable enough, and they regrew a plant. The point is they didn't know what kind of plant they were going to grow into.
I got you. So they grew several plants then.
Yes, from these particular seeds. And the article goes on to talk about how they printed a study about it. It gets all the way to the very bottom. It just happens to casually mention that, unfortunately,
Sven's not with us anymore.
Glinchinsky died of a heart attack last week.
I seen where that one was going, and I have no prior knowledge of the story.
Very interesting that they grew something when they didn't have any idea. I think that could have been a meat-eating plant. You have no idea.
Beat me, Seymour.
No idea. So
we might have an attack of the killer commie tomatoes.
You never know.
It's a special flavor of tomato. The commie tomato.
Oh, all right. Let's move on.
At least it's red.
So, let's talk about Easter Island.
Let's.
Unfortunately, there was a fire on Easter Island that caused irreparable damage to some of the famous Moai statues.
Oh, really?
Yes. And it says more than 200...
Didn't realize you could damage stone irreparably.
More than 247 acres were affected in the Ranu-Raraku sector, which includes some of the wetlands and the Moai sector.
Wasn't particularly wet, was it?
Apparently not. And they claim that some of the structures were damaged pretty badly. You can see where they were burnt. It turns out there's a shortage of volunteers right now. So it's hard for them to get the fire under control. And this comes only a couple of weeks since they started letting visitors come back to the island. See, this is why we can't have nice things. You let some tourists back, they burn it down.
Well, it wasn't lightning. It was a tourist.
No, I think it was like an accidental, forest fire type.
Should burn them
thing. Yes.
To bring back the good karma. We can do some old school sacrifices. I think a lot's been lost in the art. I mean, you got to think, man, thousands of years, we did things one way.
Right.
Crops didn't grow. We killed, Cousin Betty. The freaking, something. We didn't win a war. We didn't win a little battle. Timmy down the street is gone.
Right.
I mean,
whatever you need.
People just knew it was going to come, right? So
I guess so.
I'll tell you what that did instill, for right or wrong. Mm-hmm. If you were in that little battle, you fought harder because you might love your family.
Right.
You did the crops better than you would normally.
Do you think there was a specific type of human sacrifice for different things? Like if it didn't rain, you had to do this sort of person, and if it didn't, you wanted to win a war, it was maybe this kind of person.
Well, I doubt it. I just probably annoying. I mean,
there was a list.
Well, listen, man, we've never changed. People think we're completely different. They're like, they were set. No. We've always had the same dumb mind we have now. We dress it up, put lipstick on it, but it's still just a monkey walking down the street. You know what I mean? And I guarantee you it was the annoying one, or the one who knew you were having an affair, or the one who science project you stole. I mean,
awful.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. So let's talk about a man named Damien Brown. He's an Irish adventurer, and he has now rowed a boat from New York to Ireland in 112 days. And the strangest part about this is he can't swim. But he wanted to make the trip.
But he was on a boat.
He was on a boat, a small boat that he had to row.
Oh, he rowed.
Yeah.
Not rowed.
I'm sorry. He rowed with oars a boat.
I was like, what's impressive about that?
Oh,
Are
my gosh.
Irish just terrified of the water? I mean, come on.
I apologize.
He's like, well, he rowed a boat. I'm like, what Irish, what am I missing here?
People do that all the time.
What am I missing here? Hell, top of the morning to you. Oh, you're an Irishman on a boat. Are you okay? Are you okay, sir?
I apologize. Let's start that over. He navigated and rowed with oars a boat across the ocean from New York to Galway, Ireland, which is his hometown. And, you know, even though he couldn't swim, now he trained for like years to be able to do this. And he set off with a rowing partner named Fergus Farrell.
Do you think in those years he trained to do this, swimming classes may have been?
You would think so, but no, he didn't. He doesn't plan learning on how to swim. I guess he just trusted his life preserver. Now his rowing partner got sick on day 13 and had to be rescued. So he had to finish the journey on his own. It took him 112 days. And all he had was his boat, his oars, and there was like a little 2-meter cabin he could sleep. He rowed over 11 hours a day, slept for a couple hours a night, had like a water purifier and some dehydrated food. He said it was really lonely. And there was a storm at one point, and he did get knocked out of his boat like 3 times. He got capsized a few times.
Did magic dolphins put him back in? Or?
No, it's just a little boat. He just climbed back in.
Oh, well, he can't swim.
He had a life preserver. I mean, that helps you float.
Yeah.
Well, clearly he can dog paddle.
Okay, all right.
Clearly he can do something.
All right.
So it does say, though, that when he got home, I mean, there's a hero's welcome. There's a video. People are waving. But just as he prepared to enter Galway docks, he was washed onto the rocks and had to be rescued by emergency personnel who helped him crawl onto dry land. So he was there, technically.
There was a bunch of...
he was there.
There was a bunch of chicks from the local village waiting on him. They were like, I'm going to sleep with him first. And then they see him like into the rocks, and it's just like...
They're like, oh.
They get the Coast Guard guys.
Took 2,686 hours at sea, and he rowed 3,450 nautical miles. It's quite a feat. He's one of those...
None of it matters now.
Extreme... Yeah, because he hit the rocks at the end?
No, I mean, the road thing. It's because of the road.
Oh.
The only thing I'm ever going to remember about this guy...
Said he sailed a boat across the ocean.
The first way I envisioned him. Like, we're kind of politely clapping because it's a certain kind of Olympics.
Right.
You know? Like, we're kind of like, you know, hey, all right.
You didn't get sick.
Way to go, buddy. Way to go.
I guess I should have thought of that.
You're so impressed.
I didn't even think of that. Wow. All right. You ready for our last story?
We all are.
This is about a missing horse who returns home after running with the wild Mustangs for 8 years.
You have to go sow some oats.
No. As funny as this is from Utah. There was a horse named Mongo.
Mongo like candy.
Yes, he wandered away years ago while they were camping in the desert. And he
years
thought,
ago?
Yeah, 8 years. It says 8 years.
8 years.
So he thought he would never see his horse again. However, the Bureau of Land Management, who likes to ruin horses' fun, apparently, found him running with a herd of wild Mustangs, and they caught him and took him home. And the owner said that the horse, once he got home, acted like nothing happened. Just went right back to whatever he was doing when he had him 8 years ago. Doesn't act like he was gone or wild or anything. Just
isn't 8 years a long time for a horse?
It's an old horse. The horse is like very old. Yes, you can tell. He did lose some weight. He does have to have some extra oats because he's a little underweight. But yeah, he's an older horse. But I like it because the owner put over that the horse acts like nothing happened. Like,
yeah.
I could just see him out there trying to talk. Excuse me, where have you been?
Can
and the
you
horse is
imagine
just like, I don't know what you're talking about.
How like laid back that horse is now. 'Cause just saying.
He ran with the pack, the wild Mustangs.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. And that's why today is strange. it.